T, and I'm on the Vancouver Startup Week team. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are grateful to be virtually gathered on Indigenous land, regardless of where you're joining us from. I'm grateful to be on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish peoples. I'm privileged to live, work, and play on these lands. I would like to thank you for joining us for VSW 2021, and welcome to Virtual Team Building Calligraphy Tester Workshop, hosted by Dina Calligraphy. The session is also part of the VSW Founder Track and is proudly supported by Sage Accounting. Sage knows you didn't start your business to become an accountant. Sorry to any accountants out there. But Sage Accounting will keep your business organized and running smoothly, track your cash flow, send out invoices, and get paid quickly. So you can visit the Sage Accounting booth to access free guides and templates to starting your business finances the right way. Plus, get an exclusive VSW discount if you're ready to switch from Excel. During the session, if you have any questions for our speakers, please post them in the Q&A in the Whova session. You can also upvote questions from other attendees, and I'll pass the mic over to Dina now, and we'll begin. Thanks.
Thank you so much, T. Hi, everyone. My name is Dina. It's very nice to meet. I guess we're not really meeting. I guess you all see me, but I can't really see you. Today, I will be teaching you how to do some calligraphy. So don't worry if you don't have any calligraphy supplies or anything. You only need a pen. So we'll get into that soon. But before I do that, I wanted to give you a little introduction, tell you a bit about who I am, like what's my story, and why calligraphy, like why should you learn calligraphy? So first of all, so I run a calligraphy business. It's called Dina Calligraphy. Yes, it's my first name. And I've been doing this full-time for about 2 years. I actually started learning calligraphy 3 years ago, and then I decided to sell greeting cards with my mom. So we actually made these greeting cards together. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna learn the calligraphy and then she can do the drawings. So here, let me show you. So this is kind of how I got started with calligraphy. I really wanted to just start a side hustle. And so I started to sell these on the side of my 9-to-5 job. And then shortly after that, I started to teach calligraphy workshops. The calligraphy workshop that I usually teach is a brush lettering workshop, which is with a pen that looks like this. Okay, I know it looks like a very, very normal pen, but I'll show you later, you can do thick and thin with this. So this is a brush pen. I usually teach brush lettering workshops. Before COVID, I would do all of it would all be in person, but now I've switched over to Zoom. And I'll share a bit about the workshops later on if any of you are interested in that. So I have a question for all of you that I want you to type in the chat. What kind of virtual team building have you done with your company or your team? Have you done any virtual paint nights, or have you done any I think there's a escape room but virtual version, or yoga. So let me know in the chat. And I'm not sure if I can. I guess I'll be able to see if anyone types something, but I'd love to know. So while you answer that question, let me tell you why calligraphy can be such a great team building experience. So first, you learn a really useful skill. Calligraphy can be used to do a lot of things like making cards. It's really great for event type stuff. If your team or your company hosts a lot of, well, after COVID, event type things, or let's say you want to send a letter or a special card to your partners or sponsors or important clients, you can also use calligraphy to do the envelopes, or you could write in the greeting card. There's also a lot of wedding related things you could do. So that's more on the personal side, not so much the professional side. But yeah, a lot of things you can do with calligraphy, a lot of gift type things. And You will learn it today, and so you can all make something really, really beautiful today, and I'll teach you how. Oh, I'll give you a little preview. At the end, you'll be able to make something like this. Okay. Another reason why calligraphy is such a great team building experience is because a lot of people find it therapeutic. So when you do a workshop like this and you have worksheets like this, a lot of the times you're just spending time to like slowly practice, slowly do your calligraphy. And so it becomes, once you figure out how to change the pressure in your pen, then it becomes a very therapeutic and relaxing and mindful activity. And I know these days, like we do everything online, especially during COVID, like everything is on Zoom or everything is just on your computer. So it's a really nice way to just like take a break from technology and to like do something on paper. Like when was the last time you wrote something on paper? Probably not a lot. Okay. I want to show you, before we get into me teaching you, I want to talk a little bit about like calligraphy supplies. So with today's workshop, you don't need anything. You just need a normal pen. So go grab a pen, or you can grab a pencil and just like regular paper. But here are some calligraphy supplies. So I've showed you the brush pen already. I'll show you it on the paper later. But there's a lot of other tools you can use for calligraphy. So these are pointed pens. This one is for right-handed people. This one's for left-handed people, but they basically do the same thing. This one is the one where you dip it in ink. So something like this, dip it in ink, and then you can do the calligraphy. So brush pen and pointed pen are the main ones that I do right now. Something you might be thinking to yourself is, okay, if I'm left-handed, can I still do calligraphy? And yes, you definitely can. So I'm actually left-handed. There are a little bit of differences in terms of like how you hold the pen or how you position the paper, but the calligraphy is still the same. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, it's still the same. And especially for faux calligraphy, which we're doing today, it really doesn't matter. Okay, something else I also wanted to clarify is if you're wondering, oh, I learned cursive writing in school, is that the same as calligraphy? My answer is no, it's not the same. There's like different goals with both of them, and the technique is different. So with cursive writing, which maybe a lot of you have learned it, I learned it in elementary school. The goal with cursive writing is to do it as fast as you can and to do it all continuously, and you don't lift your pen for one word. Like you'll do one word and everything will just be continuous. And the goal is to do it fast. Like if you're writing some notes or an essay or a letter or you're journaling, like the goal is to do it fast with cursive writing. With calligraphy, it's more like it's a much more slow kind of experience and technique. So you're paying a lot more attention to each individual stroke and each individual letter. And later I'll get into that. But with calligraphy, the goal is not to go very, very fast. Like usually with calligraphy, you won't do it just for any regular writing. It's mainly for something special, like making a card, or you're writing, or you're making some kind of poster, or making some kind of gift. Like it's like a more special thing you would use it for, versus with cursive writing. Okay, and then the other thing with calligraphy is that within words, you're lifting up your pen a lot, which is not like cursive writing. So I'll show you that later. I'm going to turn my screen around. Okay, and there is something I wanted. There is a resource that that you can access. Oops, hold on. Okay, so if you see here, so these worksheets, so there's 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not mandatory, it's optional, but you can download this. And I'm not sure if T put that as a file in the WOVA, but it's in my event description. It's like a bit.ly link.
Yep, I put it in chat as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much, T. Yeah, so for everyone who wants this, you can definitely access this. You can print it out or you can download it for later, but you don't have to have this for today. So, okay, so first I'm going to be showing you how to do faux calligraphy. Now, let me explain what faux calligraphy is first. So hold on, let me get my blank sheet. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this card first. So with calligraphy, you'll notice that there's thick and thin. Actually, this is like a better thing to look at. There's thick and thin, right? So let me show you what it looks like with a calligraphy brush pen first, and then I'll explain how to do it with just like a normal pen. So let me turn this down a bit more. Okay, so let's say we're trying to write startup. So with a brush pen, I know this looks like a normal pen, but it's going to bend and make like thick and thin. So do you see how when I'm going down, I'm pressing harder, and then when I'm going up, it's thin. So start, and you see how I'm lifting up a lot. Okay, start up. There. So this is like a calligraphy pen. This is what I would normally use, but because you most likely don't have this kind of pen, it's called a brush pen, we are going to do faux calligraphy today. Now, basically what faux calligraphy is, simply it's you write the calligraphy and then you manually color in the thick parts. So we can do the exact same thing here. So I'm just going to do the strokes as I did on top. Okay. And then I'm going to manually color in all the thick lines. So it's thick when you go down, thin when you go up. So let me do this first. So we make it thick when you go down. And then you just color it in. Okay, I'm not going to color it in very precisely, but I just want to show you the idea first. Okay, so coloring this in. By the way, you can totally try this out on your own paper. Okay, and then like that. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. Obviously, if I colored it in better, then it would be better, but basically the same thing. So this one is like a brush calligraphy pen. This one is faux calligraphy, which is what we're doing today. Now, there's actually nothing wrong with faux calligraphy. I actually use faux calligraphy a lot if I am making like a big sign, like for an event or for like a welcome sign for something. It's because with something big, like you won't be able to use like there's like no brush pen that is super big, and you can't really use a paintbrush because you can't get precise lines. So faux calligraphy is a very legit way to do calligraphy. It's what all calligraphers use to make like big signage or to do like big things. Yeah. Okay, so this is what faux calligraphy is. Basically, you do the calligraphy, and then you color in the thick parts. Now, how exactly do you do this, and how do you make it look super nice? Well, here is where this sheet comes in. This one. So it's in the file that T uploaded. It should be in the chat. So you can just use this for reference, but this is the alphabet written with like a calligraphy style. And by the way, when I say calligraphy, we're doing modern calligraphy right now. There's a lot of different kinds of calligraphy, but right now this is modern calligraphy. So you can see the different letters. There is actually, so each letter is actually made up of basic strokes, which I think for right now, it's not super important for you to know, but I just wanted to show you. Actually, let me show you with this worksheet here, which is my brush lettering worksheets, which is my 24-page workbook for like an actual calligraphy workshop. Okay, let me move my screen. Okay, so here you can see these basic strokes. So the first one is, there's downstroke, there's upstroke, and then you would use the calligraphy pen for this. There is oh, I think I forgot the name of this one. Underturn. This one is underturn, overturn. They all have different names, but basically all of these basic strokes form the foundation of the alphabet, which was right here. So let me show you an example. So for example, this A, you can see this oval and then this underturn shape. So it's this one and then that one. And let's take another example. The G is an oval plus a ascending loop. Oval and then this ascending loop. And then, for example, this H is a descending loop and then a compound curve. So this one and then that one. And then you can kind of like decipher them yourselves. So most of the letters are based on the basic strokes. Obviously, there are some that don't quite fit, like the S doesn't really have a basic stroke, but for most of the letters, they follow the basic strokes. But for today, you don't have to worry about the basic strokes, but I just wanted you to be aware of this thing in calligraphy. So if everybody has a pen and paper, what I want you to try to do is try to write your name. Here, I'll put it here so everybody can see. Try to write your name based off of this. And make sure something important is at the very end of each letter, you'll notice that it goes to this midline. For all letters, it ends at the midline. And this is very important because you'll end at the midline in order to connect that letter to the next letter. So for example, let's write the word hello. So oh, and by the way, if you think like following this is a bit too hard, I also have like a cheating method, which I'll explain later on. It's basically using cursive writing to do the same thing. But let's learn the proper way first. So you have your strokes like that. Okay, so hello. And then you're just going to color in the thick parts. So you can try writing hello or your name. But did you notice how after each letter, I went to the midline? Midline. This is going to the midline, going to the midline, and then you connect to the next letter. Okay, so there is hello. Yeah, here, I'll let you see this. How's everybody doing? I'm so curious. Type it in the chat. Do you have any questions? Let me know if you have any questions about the faux calligraphy or about calligraphy in general. And then in the meantime, I can show you some more examples of how we can use this. So let's say we're writing thank you. So I would do this. So if you have that file open, you can just reference it. That. Okay. And then you just color in the thick parts. Like that. Okay, I'm not going to do all of it because it's taking some time, but there. Just pretend I colored it in. So that is basically how you do faux calligraphy using this. And then we have the capital letters down here. There is one thing, I mentioned the cheating method. So I think for a lot of you who have learned cursive writing, this is like, technically you shouldn't be doing this, but you could do this. It's a way to do faux calligraphy, but using cursive writing. So basically what you do is just do your cursive writing as you would normally do, and then you just color in the thick line. So you don't have to refer to this thing, which you might think it's a headache to like memorize all of this. So let me show you an example. So let me do the hello again, but you'll see there's going to be some differences in between cursive writing and calligraphy. So, and with cursive writing, you're not really lifting, right? You're just going there. So there's cursive writing. And then what you do is just exact same thing. Just color in the parts where you went down, like that. So this is like a much easier way to do it, because a lot of you already know cursive writing. Oh, and by the way, when you color in the lines, try to make the thickness for each one about the same. There. So that is the one with cursive writing. And let me show you the thank you. Okay. There. So same thing, you can color it in. By the way, for everyone, if you've just joined and you have no idea what I'm doing, I'm teaching a faux calligraphy workshop. So it is a legit form of calligraphy, but you don't need any special tools. Like you just use any regular pen or pencil to do. And right now I'm showing the cheating method of how to do faux calligraphy, which is basically do cursive writing and then color in the parts where you go down to get the calligraphy look there. Okay, so And now we can actually look at the comparison. So I'm going to circle the more real calligraphy, which is based on this alphabet here, this alphabet, which is based on the basic strokes, which I showed you earlier. So it's kind of getting technical, but comparing the more like the more proper way to do calligraphy versus the cursive, you can see that with the cursive, it's not very consistent. Even it looks similar, but this one is much more consistent looking, and it just looks better overall. Same with this one, comparing this one and this one. I don't know if you all can tell the difference, but I can see it. Okay, so that was the cursive way of doing it. Let me show you another example. Does anyone here want me to write their name? Or T, I can write your name. T, how do you spell your name?
It's just T-I.
Oh, it's okay. It's so short.
It is.
That's okay. I actually, my real name is just D-I, like D. But I added, we added like the N-A to it, so it became Dina.
Awesome.
Okay, and we can do, so if we do the cursive writing way, then it's like that, which is not too different from the proper way because T's name is quite short. So there's T. Does anyone in the audience have a name they want me to do, or just any word?
You could try Vivian. I see her in the audience.
Okay, let's do Vivian. Let's do it the cheating way, which is the way you're all probably doing it. So let's do our V. Vivi. In. Okay. And then color it in like that.
Oh, there's also a request for Mina.
Okay. Oh, Mina, I remember you. We connected recently. Okay. Ooh, how do you do the cursive writing M? I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to do my calligraphy M. We'll do that. Okay, cursive writing there. So then I'm going to color this in. This. This. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering about the slant of your letters, it actually doesn't matter what slant you have, as long as you're consistent and as long as all the thick lines are parallel. So look at this. This is parallel. So for example, I could write Mina, but less slanted. So the exact same thing would be like this. This is like not slanted at all. Oopsies. And it still looks fine. So as long as your thick lines are parallel, then it's fine. Just be consistent. It doesn't really matter with modern calligraphy. But there are other kinds of calligraphy, like more traditional kinds, like copperplate or Spencerian. I don't know if you've heard of those. Those have like an exact angle. Okay. Any other names or any other word suggestions?
Mina said, here's a challenge, do my last name.
Okay, what's your last name?
It is Haghighi.
Okay. Yeah, that's a challenge. How do you pronounce it? Okay, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try. Okay. Here, I'll do it with how about this? I'll do it with Faux Calligraphy, and then I'll also do it with the brush pen so you can see the difference. H-A-G-I-H. Oh yeah, by the way, I know I can't see anybody's work. Normally with a with a calligraphy workshop that I do on Zoom for companies, you'll be able to like show me your paper and I can give you feedback, but I can't do it right now. So if you are trying this out for yourself and you want feedback, feel free to email me or you can message me a picture on Instagram. It's Dina Calligraphy. Or LinkedIn. I'm like on all social platforms except Twitter. Okay. Here is the faux calligraphy of your last name. There. Let me show you with the brush pen. This is the pen that you would use in like in my usual calligraphy workshop if you book one. I would mail the supplies to you. So later on I can show you some supplies. Okay, so why don't I just write your entire name then? Okay, hold on. Let me actually switch the pen. This one's running out of ink a bit. Okay. And then your last name. Okay, there it is. So obviously it's faster with the with the actual calligraphy pen because I don't have to color it in, but you can see it's basically the same. The end result is the same. I could have colored it in better, but yeah, there you see. And maybe at the end, if we have time, I can show you the pointed pen, which is this one, the fancy one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me turn my screen around. I want to show you some, so you can all see my face. Let me show you what you actually get if you do want to do an actual calligraphy workshop, because it is way more fun with this pen, with an actual calligraphy. It's called a brush pen. So if you book an actual workshop, you get a package. So I'll basically, like the company, like your team would send me addresses of everybody on your team. And obviously I'll keep it confidential, but I would mail this to you, this package, which includes the pen, okay, one pen, a set of worksheets. So it's 25 pages and it has the basic strokes, all the letters, and then we work on connecting letters like this. And then at the end, obviously we get to words. Here, this one's the longest word. Congratulations. That's the longest one in the booklet. And then there's also some like different things on how to change your style. So that is the workbook. And also you do get some supplies to make cards. So there's 2 envelopes and then 2 pieces of cardstock, which then you fold and then you can make a card. So that's in the actual calligraphy workshop. And just to show you some examples of cards. So you can use this as inspiration for when you use your new faux calligraphy skills and you make things for people. So this is the one I showed you. I'll show you a more in-depth, I guess, like way of doing this one. So there's this. This is very easy. You can do a happy birthday card. This one actually didn't finish. And then you could do some floral things like this. So with this, this one was actually with the brush pen, but you could use faux calligraphy. It's like the same thing. This one was done with faux calligraphy. I used a Sharpie and then you just draw balloons. And then, okay, I have some seasonal ones that I did for previous companies. This was a Happy Easter one. This is a faux calligraphy workshop. And then there's Valentine's Day, which I know has passed. But there's Father's Day coming up, so you could do one for your father. And Mother's Day already passed. Yeah, it was recent. Okay, something else I want to, oh, I guess I already covered that. Let me just take a look at my notes. Yeah, and if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna turn my screen around again and show you how to make the easiest card ever. Like you could actually just make this right now. Okay, so that thank you card, let me grab it. So this thank you card, I'll show you how to do this. Let me get a paper. Okay, so you can get any cardstock, or you can just do it on like a normal paper for now, for practice. Okay, so everyone grab some paper, and then you need like a circular object, like a cup. Unfortunately, my cup is way too big for this, so I'm not going to use a cup. I'm just going to freehand it. But get a pencil and then do a circle. So circle. Okay, let's pretend that it's a perfect circle I traced around a cup. Or actually another good thing is you can use a peanut butter jar lid. That one is also very good size. So you do that. And then for the wreath, so you can just take your pen, any pen, and then there's two ways you could do this. So you either just do like oval shapes like that and leave space in between them like that. So you could do that all the way around. Okay, I'm not going to finish. That's going to take some time. And then the other way is to do the ovals, but connect them together like that. So these are leaves of a wreath. This is very easy. You don't need any artistic skill. Just do like ovals. Yeah, so you can keep doing this. Just do this all around. And then if you want to, you can do a draft with pencil, but I'm not going to do that. Let's write, we can do Happy Father's Day, because I guess that's like the next thing that's coming up. So if you're going to do the cheating method way, like the cursive writing way, then it would look something like this. Okay. Happy. Okay, I don't know how to do cursive writing F, so I'll just do this. Father's apostrophe, I think. Happy Father's Day, there. And why don't I finish up this? Oh, here, let me finish up this part and then I will color in the color in the thick lines in the writing. This is literally the easiest card you can make, and you don't need any artistic skill. Okay. Like that, and there. Okay, and then you manually can color in the thick parts. Like that. Okay, I'm trying to do it as fast as I can. But if you're making an actual card, I would take some more time. Oh, by the way, I usually color in the thick part, like on the right side of the line. So you can see I'm doing it on the right, not the left. Yeah, so doing faux calligraphy does take longer than a normal brush pen, but that's if you don't have the pen. You can do it like this. Oh, I forgot one here. I forgot the thick line here. And that one was a little too big, but that's okay. Okay, there. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so there it is, a Father's Day card. Now, if you want to add just like a little bit more, you could just take any color pen or marker or highlighter. You could take I have a green highlighter right here, and then you just color it in. So I'm not going to do this here because it's going to take some time, but if you want to do it on your calligraphy, you can as well. Just color in on the thick line, on the right of the thick line, like this. It's kind of like you're extending the thick line, like that. Just to add some color. Oop. Okay. There. So there it is. A beautiful, beautiful card. Yep, I'm very curious if anyone will make a card with faux calligraphy. Or if you do want to like try out a brush pen, here I can give you a recommendation for a brush pen. So everybody, you can write this down. This pen that I was using before to do this, it's a Japanese pen. So the brand is Tombow. And then it's a Fudenosuke. And then you have to get the hard tip. So you can Google this, but you can get it at Amazon, like on Amazon. You have to get the two pen pack. 2-pen pack comes with the hard tip and the soft tip, or you can go to Opus Art Supplies. And then some Staples, but I would double check. They might not have it. Amazon definitely has it, and then Opus Art Supplies definitely has it. Oh, if you're in BC. And if you're not, then just Google this. Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip pen. So yeah, these pens are usually like $4 to $5 each, and they last quite a long time. So you could try this if you're interested in calligraphy. Yep. Okay, so that is the card. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me just take a look at my notes. Okay, so let me turn my screen around. And because we're a bit ahead of my own schedule, I can tell you a bit more about like if you actually want to do a calligraphy workshop with your team or your company or organization. So I did show you before all the supplies, like with the worksheets, the full worksheets, and then you do get the Tombow pen. In terms of the length, it's usually 2 hours. I know that sounds like quite a long time, but remember that for the 2 hours, you're not actually looking at the screen all the time. Like I will be showing you demonstrations and then you have time to practice. So let's say out of the 2 hours, you're actually like looking at the screen only like for 1 hour. And there is usually like a bathroom break. But the shortest I can go is 1.5 hours for a workshop, because it's in like 1 hour, it's really hard to teach how to use the brush pen and get to like this kind of level. So the minimum time is 1.5 hours, and you can definitely like reach out to me if you're interested in that. In terms of mailing the supplies, I typically do it for any company in Canada because I will mail the supplies through Canada Post, like regular letter mail. So it doesn't matter where they are in Canada. It's just like, it's the same cost. So your team could be like working remotely from wherever in Canada. Yeah. And if you missed the part at the beginning where I explained like all the benefits of calligraphy, I can talk a little bit more about that. So obviously you learn a new skill, and this is a skill you can use in both your personal life and your professional life. So personally, you could use it to make gifts for friends, for family members, making cards like the one I just showed you, cards. Oh, and you can save a lot of money. Like if you know how to make your own card, like you just buy like a pack of cardstock and like a pack of envelopes, and you can save so much money. Because if you want to buy a nice card these days, it costs like $5 at like Hallmark or something. So yeah, can save a lot of money personally, make a ton of gifts and stuff for family and friends. Another thing other than cards is you could write out like your friend's favorite quote or song, and then you could frame it after you practice your calligraphy. You could like frame it up and give it to somebody as a gift. So there's a lot you can do with calligraphy. And then on the more professional side, like if you're going to use it for work, it's really great for like marketing teams, because if you're sending out like invitations or thank you cards or like anything to clients or sponsors or partners, then like using calligraphy, even if you buy the card and like do the calligraphy on the envelope, it's just like a really nice way to like spice up like a piece of mail. So there's that. So mailing for like clients or people you work with. It's also really great for like if you have like a new employee join your team, like everybody could write a calligraphy thank you card, a calligraphy like welcome card. Or another thing you could use it for is you could do like a vision board for your company and like do quotes like or phrases of like different important things in your company's values or mission, and then you can have that, and it's like a nice piece of artwork that like staff made. So that's another thing. And then I already mentioned before events. So right now, obviously there are no events, but hopefully later this year there are, and then you can start making like signage, or let's say you have a guest coming into your company and you can use faux calligraphy on the whiteboard, like write welcome and then guest name on the whiteboard, and it's like a really nice surprise. So that's great for in-person events. Another great example I like to say is if you're serving food as part of your company event, you can label the food with your calligraphy. And let's say you were on a budget for food and you bought the food at Costco, but if you label the food with fancy calligraphy, then it makes it seem like the food is not from Costco, right? So that's like another way to just elevate your events. And then you could do like, you could do menus, or you could do like name cards or even name tags. It's really nice. I've done, I've made name tags for different kinds of events before. Like I got hired on to make name tags. So yeah, lots of things you can do. And yeah, so that's on the skill level. Calligraphy workshops are really great for teams also who are more like working in the creative fields. So actually I've worked with companies who are doing like animation or like graphic design, because you can also do digital calligraphy. It's like the same concept. Like when you go up, it's a thin line. When you go down, it's a thick line. So for anybody here who has an iPad, you can get Procreate, and if you have the Apple Pencil, then you can do like digital calligraphy, and it's really fun. Like there's a ton of tutorials on YouTube that you can check out. So other than like the skills building part of it, which I think is one of the biggest things compared to, let's say, like a paint night where you do the painting and then you do learn painting, but then you don't. Most people who do a paint night won't actually continue to paint, but once you learn calligraphy, it's really easy to just continue to practice. So that's on the skill level. In terms of like other benefits, it's very relaxing and like meditative and therapeutic. So it's good for stressful employees to do. Yep. Okay. T, I want to check in with you. Are there any comments or questions from anybody?
Everyone's really enjoying your session. They're really excited on the chat. And yeah, there's no questions. The pen that you mentioned is also linked in the chat by one of our attendees.
Great.
But yeah, everyone is really enjoying it. Someone said this breakdown of how each letter starts and ends and connecting it is amazing. But yeah, everyone's really excited and ready to use this new skill for cards, for wedding thank you cards, etc. Yeah.
Great. T, did you have a chance to try it out on your own?
I
Or were you
did.
just watching?
I did T, and then it was really short, so I did hello, which is a bit longer.
Do you want to show everybody, or are you? Or
Sure. Let
or
me
you
go
think you
grab
want to
it.
practice some more? Okay, let's see. I'd love to see it.
Okay, wait. Let me go grab it.
Okay. Yeah, and then for everybody else, because I would have loved to see everybody's work here. Obviously, I can't. But if you want me to give you any feedback, or if you want like other tips, feel free to email me or message me on LinkedIn or Instagram. Okay, let's see, T. Oh, I can't see. It's because of the virtual background.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Maybe I'll post it and
Okay,
share
you
it
can
on
post it
VS
later. That's fine. Yeah.
But yes. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm glad everybody enjoyed this. I'm very curious. So everybody who tried the faux calligraphy, please send me a picture. Because I feel like if I'm talking and then like I don't see any pictures, then it's like I don't know if I was teaching. So yeah, everybody, I would love to connect with you. We do have a couple of minutes. I can quickly show everybody some pointed pen because people always think it's fun to just watch. So I'll turn this around. And so I'm going to use this gold ink. I'm left-handed, so I use this pointed pen. If you're right-handed, you would use this. Okay. And I can tell you the difference later. And let me just grab a black paper. Okay. So let me move some stuff. Okay. So okay, these things these I actually make bookmarks for everybody who I send a calligraphy package to. if you do it as a company. So everybody would get something like this. Okay, so I'm just shaking the ink. And I guess because Mina volunteered her name, I'll do her name with this gold ink. Okay, so I'm gonna, sorry about the sound, just put some gold ink on there. So if you want to learn pointed pen, I would definitely recommend doing brush layering first, because with pointed pen, like there's a lot of ink issues to deal with. So I would do brush pen first. But it's the same concept where when you go up, it's a thin line. When you go down, it's a thick line. So let me make sure I have enough space. Okay, I think I have enough space. Hold on. It's coming. Okay. And you'll notice, as I explained before, calligraphy is a slow activity. It's not cursive writing. Okay, so first name, and then get more ink. I hope I can fit it in. I think I will be able to. H. Oh, this nib. Okay, a nib is like this metal thing. It's a bit old, so it's not as smooth as I would like it to be. Okay, there. And let me see, did I spell it right? Yeah, I did. See, it wasn't as smooth here, so that's why there's like a little hiccup there, but that's fine. Okay, so that is pointed pen. Mina's name. And this will take about like 5 minutes to dry. So yeah, that is pointed pen. And just to show you how this thing works, it's really cool. Like, wait, it's not focusing. Okay, you see when I press on it, the metal nib opens. So when you go down on the paper, that's how you get a thick line, because the nib will open. And if you're right-handed, you would use this. You would actually like turn your paper a bit to the side and do it like this. It's because of the angle. You need the nib to be on the same slant as you're writing. So like that. That's why right-handed people have to turn their paper. Okay, well, I hope that was a fun thing to see. That's pointed pen. And let me just turn my screen around. Yeah, well, thank you everybody for attending. And if you want to connect further, feel free to email me or message me on the Wova app, or use Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm on everything except for Twitter. Just search Dina Lu or Dina Calligraphy. And thanks, T, for helping me organize and host this and checking the questions and everything.